1, 2, 3, 4. Those are numbers, but you already knew that. If you want to know what number you're going to pay each month for your car, use Kelly Blue Book My Wallet on Auto Trader. They're really good at numbers. Auto Trader.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of Unequal Sequel.
Extra!
It's that time again when it's one of the special Friday treats for you all. And on this week's episode, me and Rich are going to try and review, and I mean try because in my head I'm still frazzled.
Yes!
Fast and Furious 9.
Oh, I'm so excited. Since I watched it, I've been dying to talk about it. And this is just, I'm very excited.
I mean, there's a lot to talk about, isn't there?
Dave, you look so puzzled, Dave. You just don't know what to say.
Did I enjoy it, Rich? Did I enjoy it? I think so.
I don't know if you enjoyed it or not. My initial reaction from leaving the cinema was that it was bonkers. Absolutely bonkers. Parts of it made no sense whatsoever. There are massive, massive plot holes. The laws of physics do not apply in this world in any sense. Isaac Newton would be spinning in his grave. It is absurd. It is predictable. It is sentimental. And I bloody loved it. There's so much wrong with this film. It is so stupid. And I really enjoyed it. I really, really enjoyed it. It was so fun.
It was fun. I'm going to give you that one. Where do you want to start, the negatives or the positives for you? Let's go, let's start positive with you. Go with the positives.
Yeah, okay. So positives are, it's really funny.
It is really funny.
It's really funny. There's some very good comedy in it. John Cena was not as awful as I thought he was going to be. He's still quite wooden. Let's put it mildly. I quite liked getting to see the backstory. I quite like
the prequel stuff.
Some backstory about what makes the Torettos essentially, what makes Dom the man he is. You know, seeing that sort of what happened, because he talked about what happened with his dad and stuff. And I don't want to drop any spoilers, but we do get a bit of flashback to see exactly what happened to Dom's dad.
Yeah,
and I liked that. Quite like a bit of Finn Cole from Peaky Blinders popping up. I thought that was nice. As a young version of Jacob, which is who's Dom's brother.
That's where he's from. I was like,
I don't think I'm giving any spoilers away here, but
yeah, no, this is going to be a hard one.
Are we giving away spoilers by saying that Dom has a brother who neither him nor Mia have mentioned ever before?
No.
In 8 other movies.
Yeah, if you watch the trailer, you know that he's got a brother, and from the trailer, you know pretty much every set piece. So I feel like we can talk about the bits that are in the trailer. And that includes the return of one of the characters that has previously died in one of the other films.
Oh, can we...
I'm pretty sure it's one trailer.
Is that... Because I've not seen the trailer, so I didn't know that was going to happen. I was not...
Okay, well, we won't mention him by name. I'm just going to tell you now, I don't think that needed to happen. I don't think that needed to be in there.
No, I think you're right, but Fast and Furious loves bringing someone back from the dead. They absolutely love bringing someone back from the dead, don't they?
But they shouldn't at this point.
It's kind of their thing.
Should they?
Well, I don't. They didn't need to. Let's put it that way. It was not an integral part of the film. But then I don't think any of it was integral to the film, to be honest, because the film is so bonkers that
it's just mad.
There are some bits in it that are just plain weird. And I think there are... I mean, this will forever be known as Fast and Furious in space, right? Because...
Yes.
I don't think that's any spoilers, because, again, I think that's widely known. They go into space, and it's ridiculous. I mean, completely and utterly takes physics and bins it. Ridiculous.
Yeah, I'm not a science expert, but that's not possible, right? What their plan is there.
No.
Wearing deep sea diver suits and just going up in a Pontiac, pretty much. which I hope is sealed properly.
I mean, they would freeze to death for a start. I mean, let's not even start on like not being able to breathe.
Yeah,
they
good
would
point.
literally freeze to death in the vacuum of space. It's insane.
It just slowly gets more insane, doesn't it? Like for the whole
Yeah,
2.5 hours.
Apparently,
Rich.
gravity doesn't exist in Fast and Furious world.
Why should it?
Like even from the very first set piece, a jeep crosses a rope bridge that has been severed at one end, like a fucking cartoon.
I enjoy that bit.
Carries along this rope bridge, and somehow defies gravity. Amazing.
That wasn't even the weirdest part, because there's a bit in the trailer when Vin Diesel hooks himself to the other part of that bridge and swings himself across by using a car. I just don't understand how all these cars are unbreakable at this point, and how...
I love the fact that neither do the characters in the film. Again, this might be a little bit of a spoiler, so cover your ears if you've not seen this before, but there is a point where Roman and Tej, Tyrese and Ludacris, have a conversation about how absolutely unbelievable the things they do are. And they might, it's almost a fourth wall breaking, hang on a second, are we superheroes kind of moment.
Yeah.
Are we unbreakable?
Yeah.
That kind of...
I thought Samuel Jackson was going to come out.
have that conversation.
Yes, Mr. Glass.
Mr. Glass is going to win himself in.
I really enjoyed Tyrese in this film. I thought he...
I did too.
He was hilarious.
I
mean, he's shouting through 90% of this film, but everything he says is, well, it was spot on and funny. And all the characters.
Absolutely.
And at this point, I don't understand why they keep asking this team to return to save the world, because at this point, half the team's either dead or gone. And surely there's other better equipped people than 5 people in a car. I'm thinking too much.
I don't know. Dom and Letty have essentially locked themselves away in a farm in the middle of nowhere, and are clearly not welcome to visitors, because when people turn up, they just get some big guns. Basically, it's like, and they clearly. I can't imagine there's a lot of laughs in that house.
No,
neither. Yeah, Dom and Letty both very serious in this movie and very kind of beaten. But yeah, I mean, it's
2.5 hours, Rich.
It didn't feel too long for me. I mean, I guess it did for you, but I would have cut the whole space thing.
No. If we're going to do a Fast and Furious now, and this is where they're taking it, the space thing had to stay. I'm afraid it was one of the better storylines, even though it was, because that's what, at this point, that's what people are expecting, wasn't it?
True.
When 8 ended, they were like, "Well, there's only one way this is fucking going now. We're going into space."
Yeah, insane. Yeah.
And I think the makers were like, "Well, okay, let's somehow take them into space," and they kind of found a way. I can't imagine where they're going to go with 10 and 11. There's nowhere. There's absolutely nowhere they can go.
Under the sea? I don't know either. I mean, if it did make me think, like, if I was a government agency and I'd created a weapon that was so destructive that I was really worried about someone getting hold of it and using it for evil, the International Space Station is a really good place to put it, because, like, you could you put it up there, no one can get to it. And then if someone does try to get to it, you could just send a rocket up and blow up the space station.
You just throw it out of space, be like, oh, it's lost forever now.
Well, yeah, but you might still need it at some point to get it back. Like, yeah, it's just... I was just thinking that. Another good point is Charlize Theron's back as Cypher, who does seem a bit, a bit...
pointless.
Add a bit of menace.
No.
With a terrible, terrible haircut. What is her haircut about? And also, like... She's basically the prisoner of the main bad guy, the Otto, whatever his name is, and Jacob, who is working for him, I think. And she's their prisoner. What appears to be de rigueur for movie bad guys at the moment, kept in a glass case. Where does she poo?
Rich, I had the same thought when I was watching it yesterday. I was like, there's no bed in there.
I was like, they do let her out to go to the toilet.
How long
right?
has she been in there for? Leads me on to my next point.
Knows.
All right. I need you, just like we did on the last pod of a review, is to explain the plot.
Yeah.
And the MacGuffin.
Oh.
In particular.
Well, the MacGuffin is the weapon, the device, isn't it? That's the MacGuffin.
Right. So that's the best you've got. That's the best you've got for me. It's a weapon. It's a device.
Hang on. The plot is Mr. Nobody has gone missing. He manages to somehow send a message out that Ramsey picks up. I think Ramsey's good in this. That's another thing I should say.
She's more to do.
It's nice to have an intelligent female female character in this. I think she's very, very good. I would like to see more Ramsey, please. I also quite like the bit where she's driving a truck. That's funny. There's this message that comes from Mr. Nobody, and they go off to try and find his plane that has crashed in some made-up place.
Yep.
But in thinking they're going to rescue him, but obviously they go, Ramsey, Tyrese, and Ludacris go off to get Vin Diesel and Michelle Rodriguez to go and help them with this rescue mission, obviously. And yeah, they turn up. Mr. Nobody is not there, but they find something.
Listeners,
we're
struggling here, and there's a reason for this. Is because the plot makes no sense.
It's muddled.
Basically, there's something that the team have to retrieve from 3 locations to stop. Again, very much like the Hitman's Bodyguard's wife, a doomsday device that will somehow reset humanity, kind of thing. It's that kind of device, right?
Yeah, it will somehow destroy all the computers in the world thing.
And it's so dangerous. Obviously, they haven't kept it in one place, which is quite nice for a plot device.
No, they've split it into
three.
They've split it into 2 pieces,
and then a key card.
Yeah, well, they split the device into 2 pieces, and then there's a key for the device. And I won't tell you any more about the key.
Yeah, we'll stay clear of the key.
But essentially,
because that was stupid.
Yeah, agreed.
Good.
Agreed.
Did you enjoy the location jumping? Did you enjoy? Because we've both been to Edinburgh separately, and I know some of the roads around there you would not be able to drive around there. I mean, there are some big roads for the centre of Edinburgh, but the part they were driving around the castle, I don't think that's possible to do that around there, is it? I
mean, it obviously is possible because they did it, but it would be very difficult. What I didn't realise, I saw Natalie Emmanuel on the One Show. I flicked the One Show on for 5 minutes, and she was on there, and I didn't realise she doesn't have a driving licence.
Yeah.
So she was driving that massive lorry around Edinburgh. She doesn't even have a driving licence.
Oh wow!
I think she did pretty well, to be honest.
That's a great sequence.
She's like, the look of panic on my face is real, because I'm really panicking. There are really good sequences in it. There are really kind of good parts. It's really muddled trying to bring it together.
Mm.
A little bit I felt similar to the Hitman's Bodyguard's wife, actually. I was like, I do not need to think about this in any depth, otherwise it will all fall to pieces. I'm just going to sit here and enjoy the nuttiness and the explosions and Tyrese being funny with Ludacris.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all I'm going to do. I have absolutely no idea who the baddie was. Whether the baddie was Jacob, whether the baddie was Otto,
or Cypher. I don't think the script knew. I didn't know this.
Or Cypher, yeah, absolutely. I was completely lost about what was happening there.
Do you know what I was lost about? And you might be able to help me.
Yeah.
The Cardi B character. Have we met her before? Have I completely forgotten her from another character? Because it felt like when Vin Diesel met...
Is that who that was?
The rapper, yeah, in the van. I felt like we should have known who she was. At this point, they're just dropping in characters and acting like, oh, we know who this is.
I don't think she's been in it before.
I mean, but both me and you have just watched the last 8 very
I don't remember her from it.
No, I was well confused by her. Did you like Helen Mirren popping up? This is no spoilers. This is all out there knowledge.
I did like Helen Mirren popping up. Cardi B has not been in any of the other Fast and Furious movies.
Okay. Cool. That confused me because I was like,
yeah,
that bit didn't work for me either.
Yeah, I liked Helen Mirren popping up. I mean, I'm more than happy for Helen Mirren to pop up in any movie.
Yeah.
I think that's fine. I like her character of Queenie. I think she's brilliant.
She's actually got really good chemistry with Vin Diesel.
Yeah,
I don't think that's an easy thing to do sometimes. I think the other people who've worked so long with Vin Diesel now is good. Like Michelle Rodriguez is so good with Vin. But then you put him with other characters and it just is awkward. It's really wooden.
Yeah.
I don't know if even for me, I'm sitting there and I'm thinking maybe this was all a step too far. And I love the Fast and Furious films. I'm a big fan of them. And I did enjoy this one. But even at the end, I was like, oh, we've got 2 more films of this now. And you know what I really enjoyed? I really enjoyed that sequence of the young Toretto's having a race.
Yes.
I thought it went back to And I was like, do you know what? I missed the racing. It was really good, and I really liked the remix of the Prodigy song, Breathe. I thought that was a really good sequence. And I'm just going to mention it, Brian Tyler's score. This is the first Fast and Furious that I've actually noticed the score apart from the popular songs. I was like, there's actually some properly good worked orchestras, and so thumbs up to that. I really enjoyed, that was really good for me.
I'm really with you on this, actually. I not the music. I didn't notice the music quite as much as you, I don't think. But I think that I'd really like to go back to the racing bit. If we're going to do another 2 films, can we have one that's about car racing, please? Because I don't know. The rest of it's just getting silly. So if we can just dial it back a little
Which
bit.
on one hand is great. It's great. It is great cinema. It's great stuff just to turn your brain off and watch these ridiculous set pieces. And
I
films.
didn't miss The Rock, and I thought I would.
I did.
Did you miss The Rock?
Yeah. I'm still sitting there thinking, I'm missing Paul Walker, which is a shame, and I'm missing The Rock.
Always miss Paul
And even
Walker.
in this one, Statham as well. There's a point when you just realise that they're relying a lot on the silliness of Vin Diesel. And there's one scene in particular, I was like, come on now. I just don't understand how we've got from the first film, and he's had no spy training, and now he is literally, this film is like a Jason Bourne / Bond kind of a spy filler.
Exactly.
And it hurts my
head.
head.
This is the weird thing in my head, is that he's gone from a plucky street racer kid to what? I mean, Phil Mitchell off of EastEnders at this point?
He's the smartest man in the world at this point. Strongest and smartest.
Yeah. Hang on. He's basically Phil Mitchell off of EastEnders. He's bald, grumpy, appears to do nothing for anyone else. However, he has also got a very special set of skills. Where have they come from?
I can buy the driving. I can buy that he's a brilliant driver. But apart from that, Vin Diesel running as well for me always looks awkward. He just looks uncomfortable when he does it.
His action looks a bit uncomfortable, I have to say. And that's where The Rock was good, because The Rock could do all the action stuff.
Yeah.
You didn't need Vin Diesel to do the action stuff. Vin Diesel looks like a street brawler. He looks like he'd be handy in a fight, but he'd pick up a wrench and hit you with it, rather than know all the kung fu moves and stuff.
Yeah, that was Paul
Whereas
Walker.
The Rock looks like he could actually, Paul Walker was better at that stuff. I mean, The Rock also looked like, The Rock's The Rock. He could do that sort of thing. So, I don't know. It just, you're right. That's not quite there. I just want them to go back to the cars. Just go back to the car racing.
Yeah.
Can we just have Letty's, Jensen Interceptor back from Fast 5, please?
You really love that car.
I just want the cars. I love that car so much. I really love that car. But yeah, just the whole Mr. Nobody direction.
It's wearing thin now.
Yeah, but it was linked to The Rock, because the Rock character was the CIA connection. And I don't understand why these guys are being called back in.
He was, but then there's stuff happens in this film that's he's now jettisons himself into other people's storylines. He mentions a certain character that I didn't even know was a CIA. Gal Gadot, right? He mentions at one point that she was a CIA operative. Is that right? I thought she was just a bad guy with Braga's crew.
No, she's pretending to be bad guy Braga's crew, wasn't she?
Never knew that. What?
Oh no, I always just thought she was like an undercover agent.
I thought she was just a bad guy. I knew she was like.
Was she not?
Black
Have
Ops.
I made that up?
I think we're gonna have to go and watch number 4 again just to really make sure.
Anyone listening, if you want to message us and let us know what the actual score is, I thought she was an undercover agent, which makes sense.
It makes sense in this film,
CIA
yes.
Operative now.
Because at one point, Mr. Noble describes her character as his best operative. But you're right. He was the link between this secret spy world.
Yeah.
And now they're getting called upon above everyone else, above Black Ops and Marines and Secret Services. They're the go-to team are Tej, Roman, Ramsey, Letty and Dom. And Roman is a driver,
which is weird.
But
right?
now he's turned into everyone shoots and never misses. And these cars are bulletproof.
I mean, Roman wasn't even a driver.
He must have been a driver.
Roman wasn't even a driver, was he? He was just Paul Walker's mate when he started.
Yeah, but he drove him.
He was Paul Walker's mate but I don't think he was an out-and-out race driver.
In Too Fast and Furious, Tej wasn't a computer expert. He was a man if you wanted things you go to and
and he had a
didn't turn
garage.
into a computer expert until
5, I think.
Yeah, maybe the fifth one.
Yeah.
But in the fifth one, even Mia was doing more of the computer lifting. Well, she is now a super code cracker as well as Ramsey and Tej. And Tej knows Kung Fu all of a sudden.
I do quite like the shoehorned in who's looking after the kids, because I thought that. I was like, who's looking after the children? Like, they've all got kids. What's happened to the kids? You know, who's looking after them? But I like that they shoehorned in. There was babysitter.
Rich, I feel bad. I feel like I'm dragging you down into my way of thinking.
You have a little.
I think you came in like...
I mean, I didn't think about all this stuff. That's the thing. Is that I just went on my feelings. And I had to run out of the cinema literally as it ended. I had to run out because there's a family thing I had to go and sort out.
So you didn't see the credit?
I did not see the credit bit. So I would like you to tell me what the credit bit is, but I'm not sure if you want to do that on the podcast, because I don't want to spoil it for other people.
I'll tell you that afterwards. Positives. So I enjoyed it.
And this is the thing.
I really did.
It's enjoyable, isn't it?
It's not meant to be thought about, is it?
No.
Yeah.
No, you can't think about it. You can't think about it because everyone would be dead in the first 5 minutes. If there was any sense of reality, everyone would be dead. They would all be dead.
Do you think in the 11th one we find out they've all been dead straight away from their first?
It's going to end like the goddamn
from Fast 5. They all got shot in Rio.
And this has all been some sort of fever dream.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Dom's been in a coma ever since, and this has all been going on in his head.
I would like 11 to be animated.
We're a sequel podcast, so we can talk about sequels and stuff. Where do you think they're going to go?
I don't know where they can go.
I don't feel like they've got a Marvel, storyline planned like from each episode. I think it seems to be Cypher at the moment. That seems to be something they're grabbing onto. But where's this going to go? What can they do? Are they going to carry on with the spy stuff? Or are they going to bring it back home down a little bit?
I'd like
ground
it
a little bit more.
If they...
Any more family members going to pop up? Something like that?
I mean, hopefully... What...
Do you think Cole Hauser from Too Far... Sorry, I keep interrupting you. But do you think Cole Hauser's going to come back and be the big bad guy? Because in number 2, he said he's going to be back. And you quite liked him.
He did, and I did quite like him, yeah. That'd be quite cool. I quite like that.
The Asian brothers from the first Fast and Furious, are they going to retcon it back to... make a full circle?
Oh, again, that would be...
I'm just putting ideas in here.
I know, and I just can't think of what they can do. Can we just...
Where would you like it to
I mean, anywhere where Sean isn't, or anywhere Lucas Black. I'm sure he's a great actor. I just don't get him. It's just I don't get that whole thing at all. How's he a rocket scientist all of a sudden? What the hell happened there? I think I'd like it to go back to the cars. You're right. I'd like it to go back to being a kind of Beverly Hills Cop style drug busty type thing, almost like Too Fast, Too Furious, but with all of them. I'd like it to go back to being a kind of buddy cop comedy, I guess, action comedy. I would like to, and I don't want to be dark about this, I'd like to see more of them die to really put some proper consequences. I mean, that's pretty dark. Jeopardy on them. I don't think Fast and Furious is going to get that dark. I think if we're not going to have The Rock anymore, I think they should ditch this whole CIA spy nonsense, because leave that to Mission Impossible. Let Mission Impossible have that. They've got that sewn up. Let's go to London and break up. I've been to London too many times now. Yeah, I know, but I'm trying to think of how I can get Helen Mirren in it. Oh yeah, good point. Australia would be good. They haven't done Australia. Australia would be good. Been on ice. We've done the jungles now. Yeah. Have we done? We've done a bit of desert because we did that in 7. Yeah, I don't want any of that. I don't think I want any of that. I want street racing back. I want some sort of. I want some dirty cops. I want them stuck in a situation that they have to get out of, where dirty cops are going to send them to jail again. And I want cars, and I want really cool cars, and I really want Letty's Jensen Interceptor back, and I really want to see some really cool cars and stuff. And yeah, but I'm not sure how you fit Ramsey into it, because I like Ramsey as well. But yeah, I don't know, Dave. I can't think where they go. That's where I'd like them to go. I don't think that's where they're going to go. No, I hope they kind of just stick to one storyline, if that makes sense, because we're getting so close to the end now that they've got to concentrate on the bigger picture. Yeah.
But I've got two more questions for you, Rich, and we're going to wrap it up now.
Okay.
One, unequal sequel question. What kind of unequal sequel is this?
Oh, this is hard.
And then I'll get your rating.
It depends which one I'm putting it to. So, is it as good as 8? Yes, it's probably as good as 8. If not, it's on a level with 8. So, as in the last one that it's a sequel of, it's equal. Because it's equal to 8, I would say. Is it as good as the first one, The Fast and Furious? No, it isn't. Is it as good as 5? No, it's definitely not. So, in that sense, it's unequal to a lot of the rest. But like I said to you earlier, I'd still put it above. I'd still put it above Too Fast, Too Furious. Do I put it above Tokyo Drift though? I don't know.
It's going to be really interesting to have a second watch of it.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I would like to see it again.
How it plays again.
Yeah,
for me, because I still haven't decided if how madly in love with I am with this. I enjoyed it.
My overall feeling as I left the cinema was I really liked that. I really enjoyed that. I had really good fun. But the more I think about it, the more I think it was.
Sorry.
Also really no. It's not you think. I've been thinking this the whole weekend as well. Is that it was really messy and really muddled.
Yes,
it doesn't make a lick of sense. But I did enjoy it. Like that is my initial reaction. Is it was fun.
That's the positive thing.
But don't think about it. Don't think about it at all.
Out of unequal sequel ratings, out of 7, what would you give it?
3.5. It's back sort of in the middle, I guess. Not quite as good as Hitman's Wife's Bodyguard, basically.
Weirdly, I think I enjoyed that more as well.
Yeah.
But, like you said, it's just fun. I don't think you're meant to question why they're going into space or how a car could drive over a bridge that's fallen apart before they've even got on it.
Just suspend your knowledge of fundamental gravity and, how physics works and the fact that space is really, really cold. And just let it be. It's basically a grown-ups cartoon, I think, isn't it?
That is a wonderful way of thinking about it. Grown-ups cartoon.
Yeah. It's a live-action grown-ups cartoon.
I mean, there is not one point you have to think. If you just and be like, just going to watch these cars do some stupid stuff.
Essentially, it could be Danger Mouse, couldn't it? That's basically what we're watching.
Yes, one of the cars looks like it's from Danger Mouse in the end. So we're going to say 3.5 out of 7.
Yeah,
we're going to say it's kind of an equal sequel.
Yeah,
because it's
kind of equal to 8,
just like the rest of them.
Yeah,
equal to 8. Let's not get into that debate again. If you want to know about our ratings of the Fast and Furious, listen to our previous extra episode. You can see our feelings. They're mostly positive, to be honest. And I put that into this as well. I wouldn't claim this is a bad film.
No.
I would claim it's too long. I still stand by that. I don't think any film like this has to be 2.5 hours long. And if they make the next 2 3 hours long, oh God.
Yeah, 2 hours is about right for a Fast and Furious. I don't think it needs to be. Yeah, I think you're right. I don't think it needs to be more than 2 hours. Let's go back to these films. Let's not forget these films are fun.
Yes, we had fun. Yeah,
and they're not meant to be epic.
Let's just stop on that.
It's not Lord of the Rings.
Because I think me and you are we're clinging on to we had fun, but we keep on thinking of things we didn't enjoy.
Yeah,
about
true.
If we just stop it, leave it, and be like, no, we did have fun in this one. It was a good one. And that's that for this, another bonus episode of the Fast 9 review. If you're wondering where it might fit into our rankings of the Fast and Furious franchise, please go back another episode. We've done a breakdown of what we think the whole series is like. It's pretty mental and we kind of lost our minds there. Thank you for listening to this episode. Thank you for listening to other episodes if you have done. They are all up on many podcasting platforms like Apple, Google, Spotify, etc. We are also on social media. If you want to find us, something about us, we're on Instagram and Twitter. And if you want to get in contact, it is unequalsequel@hotmail.com. That's all the information I have to give you today. Please listen to our forthcoming episodes. Our Monday episodes are always our main episodes where we interview a guest about their best, worst, and dream sequel. And then sometimes on a Friday, we have bonus episodes, which are normally something to do about sequels. Anyway, that's enough from me. Thank you for listening. Thank you from Rich. Thanks. And see you next week. Bye.